All right. Previously on the donut bag. Last time we talked, we had Angie Carducci on. She's awesome.
Yeah, she is.
I'm so glad you guys got together and and
It's
I'm
funny actually. I was supposed to when I was on the fan 90. What channel is it?
93.7.
Yes, I was supposed to actually be on with her, but she had something came up. So when I arrived to the studio, Josh was like, "Oh, it's just me and you," and I was like, "Ah!" I was so nervous. Actually,
Josh
is it
Taylor.
Josh? What?
Wait, when was this?
Oh, back in 1993. It was back in just before the pandemic, actually.
Oh, no way. I didn't know you were on the fan.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
actually had listeners, and there's people like mutuals on Twitter that were like hitting me up and like, you were so good. And I was actually, there's a whole, we'll talk. We'll talk another time.
Wow, I did not know that. That's
It
so
was wild.
cool.
I actually
Yeah,
have the recording of it.
Angie's on, I think, like once a week on Josh Taylor's show on
Yeah, no,
Sunday.
me and Josh are actually
Um,
friends. We talk once in a while.
oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
He used to be on, and then he had to go have a baby, and now he doesn't have time. Like Ashley, all these people having babies. Stupid, continuing the human race.
Yeah.
Whatever. Podcasting is more important than having children. Come on, people, get your priorities straight. Anyway, so it was great having Angie on. I'm glad she was
Yeah, that
on.
was
So
fun. We
hopefully,
finally connected
yeah.
on a
So
show.
so hopefully
Interesting.
hopefully next time she comes on, we could all get together again. So the last time we talked about, it was right after the Winter Classic, and they lost in the Winter Classic. And then that was January 2nd, and then January 5th, which was a Thursday, they travel to Vegas, and they basically got stomped. I mean, Vegas is a good team, but they got stomped. I
Vegas is a
understand
very good team.
they're a good team, and I believe I heard that Vegas arena is very hard to play in. They have a very considerable home ice advantage. Uh so Vegas wins. They got apparently Jack Eichel was injured. They got him back.
Yeah, well, we
And
had Casey. We had Casey because Jari was hurt in the Boston game.
we got to talk
Um,
about Casey. Oh boy.
what do you mean?
We got to talk about Casey DeSmith, but we'll talk about him in a minute. Um, yeah, and and Phil Kessel, baby, the Phil Kessel revenge game. He scored how many times? He scored. Oh, of course, I can't find it now.
I just got him once.
He scored once. I believe he got an assist also.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, he
good,
scored 2 minutes
good.
in to the
He
game,
looked
first goal.
good. Phil Kessel looked good. Yeah, he had a goal and assist. Phil Kessel looked good for him. He's probably near the end of his career. Hey, man, a guy that likes to gamble living in Vegas, it doesn't get any better than that. Unless you run out of money, then it's not so great. But still, that's an ideal scenario. The only way Phil Kessel could have a better scenario is if he lived next to a hot dog factory. I kid. Anyway, what were your thoughts on this Vegas game?
um, okay, so I got, bench Carter or demote him to the fourth line. I've got bench Dumoulin or demote him to the third pair.
Okay.
I've got we had a bit more energy in the second period. Our power play had gone to the pooper. But we were on like a power play drought again. After New Jersey, we went 0-9 and then 0-3 in the Boston game. I think we were, we just brutal. Our power play had gone to crap again. Sorry. That's about all my notes were. We did score, what was it, 2 goals in that game?
Yeah.
Smith got his first. And then of course Sydney scored,
He scored. Yeah. So
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
an
yeah. Crosby had a good game. Apparently, Gensel had a good game according to this game score thing. I don't know. Uh,
I've got notes on Gensel. Pretty much all our players were on the ice for a goal in that game.
yeah,
I tried to keep track of that. I know what Bluer got. Did Bluer get hit? Did he stop a goal or stop a puck to block a shot? I should say.
possibly. Yeah,
I took note of that. I like to take note of players when they get hurt or look like they get hurt to see if they keep playing and kind of moderate that to see, if they're stupid enough to play while hurt this early in the season. Because if, closer to the playoffs, if they get hurt again or if they're nursing an injury and they're, you know what I mean? Anyways, but he's been playing since, so no worries there. I mean, we don't play very well against good teams.
well, so what we need to do is play bad teams in the playoffs. There, problem solved. Because that's what's in the playoffs. Bad teams.
Yeah,
Oops,
Arizona
no.
and Vancouver won't be in the playoffs.
There will
And
be no.
and Pittsburgh might not be either.
There,
Thanks
there
for that receipt, by the way.
the Stanley Cup final will not be Philadelphia versus Arizona. You could bet on that. But yeah, that's a problem playing that
The only good thing out of Vegas was we kept it down to 5 turnovers.
Whoa! Hey, look at that.
The only
It's the
good
little
thing.
things. It's the little things. Yeah, that was just a beatdown. And then you talk about a weird road trip. They go from Fenway Park in Boston to Vegas to a high school gym apparently in Arizona. It was that little tiny temporary arena in Arizona. They beat Arizona 4-1. It didn't start off great, but then I mean Arizona's not that good. And Pens just took advantage. Jake Gensel finally broke out. He was.
I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh scored all the goals in that game because I didn't the first Hayton's goal go off Ruedel, the first goal. I'm pretty sure.
It's possible.
I'm pretty sure it went off one of our players. I thought it was Ruedel. I've got it written down as Ruedel. So. But hey, don't hate on Arizona. Like I don't know what Bettman's, reasoning to keep a team in Arizona, but the energy was really nice in there. Like I liked it. Everyone, it's popular to hate on Arizona and this team and this arena, and I don't know. I'm trying this new thing where I hate on things less, and it's not working for me because I mean it's I'm trying to embrace this thing in Arizona. I mean, I want to see more teams in Canada. We kind of like own the game of hockey. Like look at our track record. Look at how many players we produce. I mean, we just won the World Juniors again. No disrespect to you Americans. You guys won your match and won the bronze, which is awesome. Congratulations for that. But it's like, why aren't we bringing more teams to Canada? It's really frustrating to me as a Canadian. But at the same time, it was nice to see the energy in that stadium or arena or high school gym, whatever you want to call it. It was nice to see, and I'm not going to hate on it right now. I just can't. It's not in me to hate on anything.
I totally get. I totally get why they want to have an NHL team in Arizona. That the Phoenix market is huge. It's a very large city. So I get it. I get that you want to take a sport that is normally a northern sport, that's normally a Canadian and a northern US sport, and take it to the South. Okay, that's great. But and I don't know the situation in Arizona. I know they're building a new arena, so they're this temporary college arena, and it's very small. And okay, what are you going to do? You have a temporary arena, but I don't know the exact situation. But I think one of the things that I think there's two things that make a NHL team successful in a city. One of them is the location of the arena. If it's like in the middle of nowhere, if it's like 30 miles away from the downtown or whatever, it's not going to work. You
No.
want it in the middle of a whole bunch of things so that it could be part of everything. So I don't know what the situation was, and hopefully it's better or whatever. The other thing is you got to win. If you're losing all the time, people aren't going to care. But if you have a winning team, people will show up. They will show up to see a winning team. I mean, you
Absolutely.
wouldn't think that hockey would work in Tampa, Florida, but it does because they're champions and they're really good almost every year. I don't know what's going on in Florida. I don't know. And anytime you see a Florida Panthers game, it looks like there's 5 people there. So I don't know. But I was looking some places that maybe should have a team. I mean, Quebec. Should Quebec have a team? It really stinks that they lost. They lost the Nordiques. How about Hamilton, Ontario?
I think something about zoning, it's too close or something, to
Too
Toronto, which is,
too close to Toronto. See that
yeah.
to
Or
me that's
Newmarket. There was another one saying Newmarket. Connor McDavid's from Newmarket. Newmarket's about, I'd say 30 to 45 minute drive from Toronto. It's all BS to me. I mean, if you build it, they will come, to quote Field of Dreams. It's just like, how many teams are you going to get? You're going to have to change the whole schedule, I guess, or I don't know. I don't know what goes into it. That's not my end of the hockey operations. I'm the coach, and I mean, I have been a GM and helped build the league, but I think it's crazy to think that there's only 7 teams in Canada, 6 or 7, and 7, right?
I think just 6.
Is there 6?
Well, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, Ottawa,
Winnipeg,
Toronto, Winnipeg. 6.
Montreal.
Oh, Montreal. Okay, 7.
Okay.
Montreal. What did they ever do? To me, it's absolutely silly. You tell me, you're in Toronto. They could easily put another NHL team in Toronto.
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
100%.
New York has 2 football teams. New York has 2 baseball teams. New York
2 hockey
has,
teams.
I mean,
3. They have 3 technically.
they have, yeah. You could you easily put another NHL
California
team in
has 3 hockey teams, and it doesn't snow where any of their hockey teams are.
Yeah. So yeah, it's silly. We talked about this, briefly on Twitter, but you don't have to take away another team. You could just add.
No, we should build.
Add more teams.
We got away from game 37 or 39. I do have notes about Arizona.
What are your thoughts on Arizona?
We're like all over the place here. So we talk about Arizona. We're like,
yes.
Why does this city have a team? This has been a hot topic for about 10 years. Why? Or maybe not quite 10 years, or maybe 8 to 10 years why Arizona has a team. But this lineup needs to change. This lineup is stale. Our lineup is stale. It's not cutting it for me. I don't like it. I know after the Boston game, Carter got moved back to center. I know nobody likes that. I know I'm the only one that likes that. I don't care what anyone likes. I like productivity, and I like to win the face-off so that we set up ourselves to, progress the play down to the opposing zone. But I like that. I like Carter's back at the center. I noticed that we were on a 5-on-3 and power play, and we almost got scored on.
That was insane. That was absolutely insane.
We're not good. We're not. Remember, I spoke about our heartbeat? Like, we have no heartbeat. We're not existing as this well-oiled machine. It's just like this slop show. Granted, we do have some really good moments. This beautiful organic system comes together, but 75 to 85% of the time, it's not fun to watch. In fact, it's hard to watch. I've actually a few times, and I hate to admit it because I'm trying to be really, persistent in taking notes, good notes, and so that I can, come here and be thorough with what I watch and add value to these podcasts, but I have to walk away and I'm like, I can't, this is frustrating for me. But like that was embarrassing. Like we can't have that happen again. And another thing, I like for Sydney, his shot attempt on that breakaway, did you remember? This
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
after this was in the first period. Um, this was towards the end of the first period. He had a shot, he had a breakaway, and it was like there was no effort in his, and there was nobody close to him. He had time to set up a good shot, and it was like no effort, zero effort in the shot attempt. And I was just like, what am I watching? It was actually, I actually stopped watching that game. I missed both of Jake's goals. I missed them both. I left. I missed all of the second period. I was pissed. I'm like, why am I watching this? Like, I was pissed. I'm sorry to say, but I want to see more out of the captain of the team, and someone he's been producing. Yeah, sure. He's got 48 points this year, and I'm, I sound like an a-hole complaining, but that's an error in my look. He's got a beautiful shot when he applies himself. Why are you wasting that? Why are you wasting that? And I know it's against Arizona, but it's practice and whatever. I made a note of it. That was the weakest shot attempt I had seen all season, and there's been a lot of them. So that's it.
No, it is extremely frustrating, and something is very wrong with this team as it is constructed, and it's just so frustrating. It is, and we talk about this every time, and we're going to keep talking about it because we're watching this, and it's just so frustrating, and it's just so frustrating that nothing changes. The one thing I hear is, well, Petrie is out, Letang is out, so therefore the defense sucks, and they're having a hard time. They're slow. They're having a hard time getting the puck out of their own zone, and they're just really hurting with our top two defensemen. And I'm getting tired of that. I'm getting tired of, you know what? Every team has injuries. What we're just gonna pack up because a couple of people are hurt. I don't know.
I'm not one. I don't buy excuses. I don't have time for them. I see, like, I had one person on Twitter get into me because I only come out on during game time, not to listen to what people say, but just to talk to a few of my hockey friends, right? And I mean, we've been talking a lot more during Penn's games lately. But some of the stuff that like people say online, I'm like, I just don't even buy into it. I don't even think some of them even understand the game of hockey.
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I think a lot of people echo what some people say, and they just, well, we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, Jake had 2 goals, Crosby had 2 assists, but I mean, honestly, Arizona just sucks. They're just not a good team.
Yeah, Sydney was better on the faceoff too. He was at 64%, which I like to see.
Okay, then, so that was Sunday, and apparently after the game, they decide to go to Montreal to go to the funeral of Chris Letang's father, which is really, I think it's a really sweet gesture, and to be there for your teammate. That's really cool. But then they play on Tuesday against Vancouver, and they start the game absolutely well. They start the game horribly, and it was basically, it kind of seemed like it was all the fault of Casey DeSmith.
Okay, so first of all, them going to Montreal has absolutely nothing to do with their play. And the wasn't Casey's fault. Okay. So Vancouver looked like an elite team in the first 10 minutes of the first period. Pittsburgh all around looked like crap. I was sitting there watching the game going, holy crap, Vancouver has really good D. Like, look how good they are. Right. And I had to pick up my phone to go and look what their last like month and a half of play, like who they've been playing, their win-loss record, their place, their standing. And I'm just like, wait, what? I didn't know. I did because we haven't played Vancouver yet, and I haven't really been following the league. I just watched Pittsburgh, right? And I've watched a few games here and there, but you know, my hockey attention hasn't been the same in the last few years as it once was. But I was in shock. I thought Vancouver was elite. I did. I'm like, whoo, look at these guys. It wasn't until Gino scored on the power play that we turned around. But it wasn't just Casey. Like Sydney had already had 2 turnovers, I think it was, in the first 10 minutes. In the first period, before he even scored, he had already had 2 turnovers. No, in the first 5 minutes in, he had 2 turnovers. Like, he was out of his mind. He wasn't focused. It wasn't just Casey. There was no connection. Vancouver was playing to all of our weaknesses in that first 10 minutes. It wasn't just Casey. We were a mess, all of us. So to sit there and say, put this blame on Casey, not okay. So I'm calling you out, Joe. You're following what other people are saying.
I'm not blaming Casey DeSmith.
Okay, fair enough.
Mike Sullivan is blaming Casey DeSmith.
Mike Sullivan having a job is I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. But we were just a complete mess. We were so weak in the opposing zone. We looked scattered. Now, is it fair to say we were sad or feeling remorse for what we went through at Letang's funeral? Listen, we all have lives. They all have lives. We don't know what's going on individually in all their lives. We know what happened just in that. There could be other funerals that they're dealing with or friends of their friends. We don't know. We just know what happened with the Letang the day before. We don't know, right? We don't know what baggage they have day to day, right? So we can't really use that as an excuse. So we're going to take that off the table here. They played like crap in the first 10 minutes. And obviously someone in the dressing room said, or someone on the bench said, this isn't it, boys. And they turned it around really quick, because then we saw a complete turnaround. But would the game end at 5-4?
Yes.
That's not a big win against a 26th or 7th or 8th place team.
When you're down 3-0, it's a pretty big win.
No, it's not. That's a 1-goal game. That is so disappointing. I was just like, what a mess. And then at one point in the third, Raquel passes to nobody. He's got Vancouver players. I should get one of those boards where I can draw like a coach's board and draw it all up. I've actually did that before for someone and made a video for them to show their team. Anyways, Raquel, so I think we're, oh man, I can't remember whose net we're in front of. So this kind of, where were we? Anyways, he passes. We're in front of someone's net. I don't know if it was our net or their net, but he's surrounded by Vancouver players and he just passes to nobody. It wasn't a turnover. So because of the other player, the Vancouver player didn't get it. It's just kind of like floated to the boards. But I'm just sitting there going, what's happening here? Like, what were you thinking in that moment? Like, send it backwards to someone else. Like, it was just the first player to get it was a Vancouver player because there was no other Penguin around. It was like, what? And that was in the third period. But then Raquel scored a power play goal soon after to make a 5-3, and then Dermott scored. But it was like, to have a Vancouver Canucks player score so close to the end of the game, closing the gap, it's like, no, Don't do
It was
that.
scary. It was scary. They pulled the goalie with like, I don't know, a couple minutes left or something like that. And Ruta had the puck at mid ice with an empty net, and he did not shoot it on the net. And I lost my mind. I lost my mind. He literally dumped it into a corner. Like, bro, you have an empty net. What is going on here?
Oh, wasn't that someone caught it just before it went in the net? Like right at the line? Was that
Yes, Ruido was about to score, but the puck was moving. It was headed for the net, but it was kind of
Oh, he
moving
just got it
slowly.
right before the line.
Yeah,
Like
and
just
a
on the
Vancouver
line. That was
and
impressive.
a Vancouver save.
I
Yeah, that
forget
was
what player
impressive.
it was, but yeah, like this is I know you can't see it, but this is a lot of anger. This was against the Vancouver game. This is anger. This was me going absolutely nuts.
So after the game, Sullivan did credit the leaders for being vocal in the first period. I think what it was actually O'Connor. O'Connor just like after the third goal and after they pulled the Smith, O'Connor just started smacking people. He was just to get something going, just to be angry. Just have some passion, have some energy, have some
To see the
emotion.
lineup change. I need to see it. It's now or never. It is literally now or never. I don't care what you're stuck on, any of you, any of these players, it needs to happen. And when I go over these errors shortly, you'll see why, because it's just done. And I mean, like, especially our D pairings, like I want that. I need some youth, I need some youth. I want a taste of Joseph and Smith so bad for a game or two. I'm telling you, that's going to be magic. It's going to be so magical. I want that on the second pairing so bad. I don't know how long Letang's obviously crushed right now. He's been put on the IR probably for some time. He's obviously heartbroken. I know when I lost my dad, I had to go through it by myself. I didn't have the system, that Letang had. I literally still I'm broken over it. And I hope he takes all the time he needs, because it's heartbreaking to lose a parent. But Sullivan can have some fun right now with his lineup. It's now or never. It's not in March. It's not in March. It's now. It's right now. Tomorrow. When do we play?
I'm telling you, I love that idea. I want to see P.O. Joseph and Ty Smith together. The baby twins, call them something. I don't know what, but that would be amazing.
Like I'm getting hot just thinking about it. Not like not that way. Stop. I'm not one of those girls. Okay. Let's clear that up. I'm just thinking about the magic on the ice, because you're looking like let's talk about it for a minute, because I know I didn't want to get into the lineup because free labor, but Patterson and Ruda. Okay, Patterson. I wanted Patterson on the top line because he'd become one of our best defensemen. Well, Letang's not there for him to play with right now, and Patterson's becoming one of our more mistakey.
I agree.
Is that a word? I think Patterson.
He has not played well.
No, he's not been playing well. And pressure is playing up there. Okay, so hear me out. Now, I do have to say one thing though. Dumoulin had no turnovers in the last 3 games. None.
He has played. He was really good in the last game, and yes, he has played much better. He is now playing with Smith.
Okay, so let me just say, but this is the thing. Dumoulin's a veteran player. He can be moved, and his feelings aren't going to be hurt. So, I do want to see Joseph and Smith together, right? Where am I? Hold on. Let me just catch up here. I mean,
but then that would leave Dumoulin with Ruedel.
And that's probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that would be a disaster.
Okay. Give me a second. I mean, then you got to put Patterson with Ruedel or Dumoulin and Ruda, one of those two. Put those two together. I don't care. Just give it to me for a game or two. Can you bring up our schedule? Who are we playing? Carolina.
The next game is
Jets.
is home to Winnipeg on Friday and then at Carolina on Saturday.
Okay, so Jets are playing. Okay, Carolina is a frontliner. They're a top liner team. Give me. I don't know when this. I don't know. I want to see that. I want to see Joseph and Smith, because if we do make it to the playoffs, Letang will be back. Petrie will be back, right? Should be.
Yeah.
I want Smith and Joseph might be one of our pairings for the playoffs. We need to practice. We need to play with them now. We need to get them building some chemistry now, because we won't see Ruedel in the playoffs. We won't. We might not even see Dumoulin. We might not, depending on how Joseph and Smith play. We need them together. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
I have this bad feeling that when Petrie and Letang come back, either P.O. Joseph or Smith is going back down to Wilkes-Barre.
Then so is Sullivan.
Yeah.
Or he should be, because this feelings on this team, it's getting old.
That's the thing. It's a thing. When no matter how poorly you play, that nothing's going to happen, why would you even give a crap? Why even bother? Because no matter how poorly you play, you're not going to get any less time, or you're not going to get out of the lineup. So who cares?
Okay, I'm going to do some work on the lineups. I'll do that for our next podcast.
Okay.
I'll do like a healthy lineup, and I'll do a few things. I'll do like 4. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stress.
Smith has been put in kind of a hard spot because they had him. He is supposed to be an offensive specialist, and they immediately put him on as the quarterback of the power play with Letang and Petrie out, and he's gotten better, but that's a tough position to put someone new to a team on. But and Tokarski looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's been, from what I've read, he's been pretty good down in Wilkes-Barre. How do you say it? Did I say it right?
It's either Wilkes-Barre or Wilkes-Barre. I'm not sure.
Okay,
I'm not sure, but then we're not, we're still calling him Zucker or Zucker, so we're not sure. Actually, speaking of him, Zucker is actually playing really well too. He and Malkin are becoming quite the duo there.
Nah, not for me.
Oh, come on.
I don't like.
Zucker really drilled somebody. It was a good, clean, hard hit.
I might have missed it.
I guess Vancouver was.
I'm not excited over the last 2 wins. I'm just, they're not good teams. I don't get excited over beating bad teams. Doesn't do anything for me. I'm sorry. It doesn't do anything for me. And I'm sorry, our top 2 lines make more mistakes than the rest of the NHL. So I don't get excited over stuff like that.
Let's talk about the mistakes. How have missed shots and turnovers looked the past few games?
Sorry, you got me going and looking at the lineup, something I really didn't want to do. And then I'm starting to look at, okay, let me go over the last 3 games. So games 38 through 40. We have 24 turnovers.
8 a game. Great.
What? Sorry?
8 a game. Not good.
So yeah. And that's puts Gino with 5 in first place. Sydney in second with 4, and tied for third, Zucker and Carter with 2. Bringing our total in 40 games to 373. That's what I've got by my calculations. And like I said before, which I had to make note of, 0 from Dumoulin, and only 1 from Kapanen. And I'm only making a note of that because Kapanen, was struggling so much at the beginning and trying to find his legs again recently. As for missed shots, and then everyone else that's on my list has just 1. Ruda, O'Connor, Rust, Heinen, Kapanen, Pedersen, Raquel, Smith, Ruedel. Said that twice. As for missed shots, we have a total of 36 in 3 games. Sorry, in 40 games, that brings us up to 475 by my calculations. That puts Gino in first place with 5. I don't like that. I don't like that Gino's in first place in both category. That's 10 errors by my calculations in 3 games by Gino. That's 10. Let's re-sign Gino, please.
But he's also creating some turnovers and doing all right scoring too.
Okay. Second place, we've got 4 tied with 4 missed shots. That's Raquel, Zucker, Carter, and Gensel. And in third, we've got with 3 missed shots, Sydney and O'Connor. So that's just for those 3 games. Okay. I don't like errors. I like polished play. I like people that get better each week, not worse. And I could scream and yell, and I know Angela would like that, your sister.
Hi, Angie. We went to the game. We actually went to the game.
You went
That's why I got these these fancy hats, and this is the most possibly American thing ever. This hockey helmet was filled with nachos.
Oh, that's cool. I was
so excited.
Is it Lions? Detroit Lions? Is that their football game? No, Tigers.
There is a Detroit Lions. Yes.
Which one's the baseball?
The Tigers are the baseball team.
Okay, so I actually went to the Tigers game and sat in the Detroit Red Wings box at the Tigers game, and I got an ice cream sundae and a baseball
helmet. I love those. Yeah, I love those.
That was cool though. It was Darren McCarthy box, I think it was, or something. I can't remember. It was a few years ago. I don't know. I don't even know how that happened, but it was a blast.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, I started doing this thing where I count I track the errors this year. So I spent a lot of time this afternoon after physio going over the games I was going to do half season, so 42 games, but since our next 2 games are back to back, there's no break for me to do it, so I did the 1 through 40. So much work, because I had to keep up making sure I got, this is based on my calculations, so whatever you find on the internet, I don't want to hear it, because if I'm wrong, I might lose my mind.
It's okay.
So I'm going to go over it for turnovers in 40 games. Gino has played 40 games. We've played 40 games, right? Are you there? You're following along?
Yes.
Gino has had 55 turnovers by my calculations in first place. So Letang has played 29 games by my calculations, in second place has had 33 turnovers. In second
10 less games and had almost as many turnovers.
And that's another one we had to re-sign. Sydney in third place. He's played 40 games, and I'm not complaining because he's also got us 48. He's got himself 48 points. He has 32 turnovers. But this is our 3-headed monster, you know? And also, too, going back to Letang, he has 2 goals, 14 assists with 16 points. Okay? This is what we had to re-sign. As for Gino, he's not pulling the point per game anymore. He's at 39 points, played 40. He's declining, but not as bad as I thought. But I mean, whatever.
See, that's positive. You're not declining as bad as I thought. That's positivity right there.
But still, the top 2 is what we re-sign, and they make the most mistakes. Anyways, in fourth place with 26 turnovers, we've got Pedersen. In fifth, we've got Gensel with 21. Sixth, Rust with 20. Sorry, where am I going here? Gensel has played 36 games and he's 21. Rust has played 40 games. He has 20. So that's 1 every other game, basically. Dumoulin is in 7th place. He's played 40 games. He has 20. So won every other game, which isn't as bad. Joseph has 19. Joseph has played how many? I know this. 36 games. Jari has played 25 games and he has 18.
Ooh.
Carter has played 36 games. I'm guessing. I'm going off the top of my head here. Oh my God. 37 games.
Carter has played 37 games. Yeah.
37 games and he has 17. Petrie has played 28 games and he has 16. Ruda has played 40 games. He has 15. Raquel has played, oh dear Lord, 40 games. He has 14. Zucker has played 36. He has 13. McGinn has played, my brain's going to explode, 40 games. He has 11. Kapanen has played, my brain is exploding, 31 games. He has 7. Not bad, eh?
Yeah.
For one of the worst players that everyone likes to chirp on. I know Kapanen only has, I think it's 6 goals and 11 assists. I'm going off memory. Cap, where are you, buddy? 10 goals, 6 assists, but 7 turnovers in 31 games ain't too shabby, considering all things considering. Heinen has 5 turnovers in 35 games with 11 points. Not too bad. A little under what I would expect, but he's never found his family. He's always being shifted, bumped all over the place. This is one of the problems I have with Sullivan, not working on finding a flow on his roster, on his lineup. It's really, really important that you lock something down and work through that. You've got Ruedel with 5 turnovers in 21 games, and Ruedel's played 21 games and he has 1 assist. He's got 1 point. Bye-bye. If he plays another game this season, I don't know why.
Yeah, he's a great person
Bench
to
warmer?
Exactly. Bench warmer. He's a great person to sit in the press box. And
why has he played 21 games?
Injuries. Injuries and stupid Hextall with his salary cap crap can't bring up
why
Smith.
has he played 21 games?
Yeah, he shouldn't be. He should be the 7th. He should be on the bench.
I didn't even know
always.
I decided last minute to write down like their points, right? I'm thinking, okay, so I've written down all their errors, but wait, let's figure out how many games they've played, because it's like, okay, yeah, but consider how many games they've played. Sure, Gino has 55 turnovers, but how many games has he played? A lot. But like, think about that. Ruedel's played 21 games and he has 1 assist. Get out of here. Bench him immediately. Never to be dressed again. Thank you. Anyways, where am I? Bluger, 5 turnovers in 25 games. He's got 7 points. I mean, and then he was moved to center. Bye-bye. Sorry, I'm getting worked up, Angela.
Hi, Ange.
I'm getting worked up again. Okay, then we've got O'Connor. He's played 9 games. No, I've already done O'Connor. Didn't I? No, I haven't gotten to him yet. DeSmith has played 16 games. He has 5 turnovers. Not too bad. Okay, he's only has 5 wins and 10 losses, combining regulation losses and OT losses. Everybody likes to chirp on DeSmith. Listen, viewers, you're only as good as your weakest link, and that's not always DeSmith. Sometimes the players in front of him are the problem. Looking at our defense, looking at all these errors, it's not always DeSmith. And sometimes we lose games because of the players. Moving on, Pooling, 3 turnovers. He has played, I wish I was more organized than this.
Pooling has played 31 games.
31 games, and I don't have him written down here. Yeah, I do. Okay, see, whatever. Smith has 3 turnovers. He's played 5 games. 5 games, and he has 3 points and 3 turnovers. I want him playing more. I want to see more out of him. I think he can give more. He plays with a lot of heart. Smith.
Okay. I
Yeah,
agree.
I like him. I like what he's got to give. I want him on the ice more. And then now we're down to O'Connor. O'Connor's played 9 games. He's got 2 turnovers and he's got 1 point, which is a goal. How old is he?
He's pretty young.
How young?
Let me
Can you
see.
get that quick?
I can find out. He is 24.
Send him down. He's too young. He's not ready. He's not ready for this.
He will go down once
Gotta go.
Paling or whoever is back up. Yeah, he's only
Oh yeah,
up here
Paling's played
temporary.
31, 8 points. How old's Paling?
Paling
Like 31,
is
isn't he? 30?
I don't think he's that old. He is whoa. Paling's also only 24.
Send him down. We are in trouble. I'm angry. I haven't even covered missed shots. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't like this. I don't like our stats. I don't like it at all. I'm not even talking about our turnovers. We are in trouble. Okay, you know what? Jen needs to calm down. Okay.
See, this is what you wanted, Angela. You wanted her to be more fired up, and now we're all flustered.
That's ugly, man. Paling, Bluger, Ruedel, O'Connor. Oh my God. And people are complaining about Kapanen and Dumoulin? Come on. Unbelievable. I'm gonna launch. You know what? Okay, just give me a sec.
So yeah, we are at about the halfway point. So how about we talk about well, MVP, like best player would have to be Crosby, right?
I'm gonna go with the puck.
The puck? What do you mean?
Yeah.
The puck. Okay, that's where biggest surprise of the first half. Most pleasant surprise.
Um
I'm gonna go with either Raquel or Zucker or Archibald. No, I like Archibald.
um
And
the net.
the net is the most pleasant surprise. Okay. Biggest disappointment.
Ron Hextall.
Ron Hextall is I'm still thinking he's a double agent. I'm still thinking that he is actually working with the Flyers to undermine this team.
I don't know. I have it like stuck here, sticky with the notes, like, and I couldn't come up with these. I mean, MVP, Sydney. He hasn't been.
He hasn't been. You don't think he's had?
He hasn't been as
good of a season?
consistent as I'd like him to be. He's very weak. Some of his shot attempts are weak as heck. He's in the top 3 on both sides for errors. Some nights he's just point production's there. Yes. It's just a given, you know, and I don't want to. No, he's not the MVP. He's top 3 errors. Point production's there. Yes. He's not consistent enough, and he's so bad on the face-off. I'm sorry. I don't like it. He's not the MVP. So the MVP for me is gotta be I don't know, one of the trainers. If I'm being honest, like, I'm just trying to look at the point production here and then the errors, and I'm gotta go with, like, I don't even know, like someone like I need more time to do this. I need more time
Okay,
to do this.
we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, I just can't. But the biggest disappointment, like pretty much everyone.
Everyone. There you go.
Everyone's disappointing me,
Everyone's in a
especially the
tie.
bottom. Like, what is this? 1 point? What is this, Ruido? What is this, O'Connor? 3 points, Smith. Okay, I'm not mad at him because he only played 5 games, but 21 games and 1 point. 30 games, 6 points. I'm spitting now. I'm so like this is crazy. 31 games, 8 points. 40 games, Ruda, 7 points. Ew. That's embarrassing.
What is one change that you would make besides putting Smith and Joseph together?
Aside from revamping the entire lineup, and firing the head coach and the general manager.
Besides that, yeah. I think I mean
I would be sending a bunch of these boys back to Wilkes-Barre or whatever you call it. I don't even know.
Well, that's really, I mean, when is the trade deadline? The trade deadline is, I believe, in February.
Oh.
So
yeah.
we're about to enter trade rumor season. The trade deadline is March 3rd. So we got another almost 2 months to think about trades, but
trade them all. Okay, so you know why you're seeing it like an incline in Zucker and Raquel and certain players because they don't want to get traded.
I could see that.
Players that have improved, though, there has been players that have improved. I'll do that for next episode. I was just trying to get the order of who's first down to who's last. Like, did I do Archibald? 30 games, 6 points. Ew.
Yeah, but he's on the 4th line. He's supposed to be.
What's his TOI?
His TOI is.
I don't care what line he's on. He's on the ice. Shoot the
10
puck.
minutes. He's playing 10 minutes. 10, 15.
Okay. It's lots of time. That's a lot of time.
Here's what.
What's Carter's? What's Carter's TOI?
Carter's TOI is 1445.
Okay, he's got 19 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be, I swear, Ron Hextall, if you're out there somewhere listening to this, I know you're not, but do better. Like,
big criticism.
You're killing Sydney's legacy. This is what's happening. This is, like, everybody in Pittsburgh talks about Sydney's legacy, and it's Sydney's. It's not Gino and Letang's. Sydney's really the only true superstar on this team. Sorry. I'm sorry, but that's the Canadian in me speaking. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a little fired up. I didn't even get through my whole ordeal here with all that I worked on today, but you're killing Sydney's legacy here by building and constructing this team where you have an abundance of players that are under 15 points in the season. McGinn, 40 games, 15 points. Pettersson, 40 games, 11 points. Dumoulin, 40 games, 9 points. Archibald, 30 games, 6 points. Heinen, 35 games, 11 points. Ruido, 21 games, 1 point. Luger, 25 games, 7 points. O'Connor, 9 games, 1 point. You're ruining his legacy. And I know Sydney's partially to blame for this too, for who he wants on that team. And I won't have it anymore. We're halfway through the season and this won't fly. We need change. I want change. I demand change because it's going to be too close to the playoffs where everybody gets frantic and you're going to want we have some seriously heavy hitter teams. Yeah, that was a baseball reference. Heavy shooting teams coming into the playoffs, and we are not a contending team. I repeat,
No,
we are not even close to a contending team.
I agree.
Can I do the missed shots now? Because I really worked hard on it.
Yes.
So I can calm down because I really got. I remember I told you told me about your sister and how she liked me getting all fired up, and I'm like,
see,
oh yeah,
this is your fault, Angela. You got us all. We're too fired up.
I did not expect me to get this fired up, but I'm looking at these numbers and I'm like, oh wait, here's another one. Petrie. Someone on the internet's like, oh, on Twitter, Petrie, he's make or break this team. We are nothing without him. Petrie, 28 games, 12 points.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to do it. I was going to say it. Kapanen, 31 games, 16 points. But to be fair, he came out after he was benched. He
has been better since he's been benched. Yes.
And like I said, 31 games, only 7 giveaways. He's been great. Start benching players, Sullivan. If you need a list, I'll give you one. Okay, missed shots. We have had 475 as per my calculations. I don't do internet. I don't do computers. I do paper, notebooks. I have lots of notes. That's what I do. I'm old school. Plus, I like to keep them and refer back to them. In first place, we have Joe's MVP, or not MVP, biggest surprise, Raquel at 50.
He's still doing all right.
I just love it. That's why when you said it, I'm like, he's actually progressively gotten worse in that department since the beginning of the season. But to be fair, he's got 25 points, 14 goals, 11 assists. He's producing points, but his accuracy is garbage. Imagine if he improved. Stop.
Who is improving his accuracy?
If Raquel, is it Raquel or Raquel?
Raquel. It's Raquel.
Raquel. If Raquel improves, see, I keep I keep the volume down on the games, listen to music, because I just don't want to be like influenced by what the commentators say, because they drive me mental. But Raquel, if he improved on his accuracy, those 14 goals would double by the end of the season. Triple, because he could be a goal scorer if he improved. 50 missed shots, Raquel. 50 in 40 games. You have first place. In second, well, it's our captain with 44. So that's over 1 per game. Clean that up. Thank you. Third place is Rust with 42. Another 1 per game. In fourth place is Gensel. So there's our top line with 39. So that's pretty much 1 per game. There's a goal from each of them per game. Our top line. Now let's complete our second line with Gino with 35 and Zucker with 34. So there's our top 2 lines in the top 6. Missed shots. Then we've got Letang with 24. No. We've got Pedersen with 27, Letang with 24, McGinn with 22, Carter and Dumoulin with 20, Ruda 16, Petrie 15, Heinen 14, Paling, I said it right, Paling 13, Joseph 12, Archibald 12, Kapanen 11. See, I'm really liking Kapanen down at the bottom of these lists when everyone is complaining about how bad he is. He's not. Bluger 8, Ruedel 7, O'Connor 6, and Smith 2. Smith needs more playing time.
Yes.
I want Smith more playing time. And
Letang needs to, in addition, he sounds like he's at the highest in terms of your would you count for turnovers and missed shots.
Yeah, Letang second, 33.
Yeah,
he's missing. Well, he only played 31 games, Letang.
Yeah,
29.
he
You know what? I'm going to keep Letang out of my mouth because he's had a rough year. I can't comment on it.
okay. Yeah, I guess.
I can't
He's
comment
had
on it. And we don't know
he's
when we're
had
going to see him back. He was just dropped to he's having a tough time. He's just buried his father.
um
And we don't
not
know when
only
he's going to be back.
that.
I thought he
Yeah.
retired. He was trending on Twitter and I'm like, oh my God, he retired. He
Wow.
might not come back this season. Who knows? We don't know the relationship he had with his dad. We don't know how long it's going to be. We don't.
I hate to say it, but Matt Murray, when he lost his dad, he kind of wasn't
He
the
lost
same.
his mind for years.
Yeah.
He was broken. It broke him. It broke him.
Yeah. You just hope for hope for the best. You hope for his
And
peace
you
of
know you've got
mind.
the dad's trip coming up in next month in February.
Oh, that's gonna be rough. That's
So
gonna be rough.
like I just I don't you know I don't know why we resigned either one of them. I don't it's so hard to talk on because of the certain situation right now, but honestly, aside from the stuff that's going on with Letang, we'll leave him out of this conversation, but what's going on with this team, aside from like leaving, like I said, Letang out of my mouth right now, because what is this? Sorry, my notes are going everywhere. You reap what you sow. Okay. So this is something, it's an age old saying, right? You reap what you sow, what goes around comes around, right? Sydney wanted this team. He wanted another bout with these boys and he's got it. This is what he asked for. This is what he gets. So
I'm
now,
not even worried about this year. I'm worried about next year and 2 years from now and 3 years from now. You think they're bad now? It's just going to keep getting worse the older they get. Yeah.
Slower. Do you notice how slow we are?
Very.
You know how do you watch and you're like, do you how hard it is for them to catch their breath?
Yeah, it's just going to get worse.
It's painful, Joe. It's painful to watch.
And
then we go up against a team that's younger and faster.
Yeah, but the thing
if we face Toronto in round 1, we're toast.
Oh, they're toast. Forget about it.
And we're gonna be the ones that Toronto finally beats in the first round. That's something that we'll never live down.
The thing that bugs me is,
and that watch that happen if we make it.
If you're old and slow, that's one thing. But if you're old and slow and think that you're still young and fast, and you really aren't, you have to come to grips with who you are. You're not that young, fast team. You're not that team from 2016 that took the world by storm because you were out, you were faster than everyone else,
because
and nobody
you utilize your youth. Utilize your youth again. And get rid of, we got to cut down some of that, our veteran core. We have to cut it down. We are over half old.
Yes.
And I am very intelligent, I swear.
Stale. This team is stale.
It's too old. We're stale, we're too old.
And complacent.
Yeah. This team can be saved. It can be saved.
It can.
Under the right management, with the right vision. But they don't have that, but it can be saved.
Yeah, it's who gets time also. Kapanen is one of the is on the lowest for time of ice. Bluger is low. Not that he's good anyway.
No, Bluger shouldn't be playing.
Okay.
I should have paid more attention to this, to their point production, because I was paying attention to errors, but 27 points in 25 games. Oh, he's a solid third line center. No, bye. What do we got down in the underground?
This is what.
Pay more attention. You know what? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'll just leave with this. Here's what Twitter is saying, which is probably going to piss you off. the top 6 is fine. The bottom 6 is a disaster. That's what Twitter says.
Screw Twitter.
I knew it was going to piss you off. I knew it.
Our top 6 is old and top 6 is old. See, hear what I said? Our top 6. Our top 6 is old and slow. We need to get a little bit of youth in there. On each line, we need to have at least one young and fast player. I don't care what Twitter says. It needs to happen. Okay, sure, Gensel found his legs and he scored a couple goals. After how many months? I don't care about people's feelings, Joe. I don't care about it. I care about winning. And you know what? Another year goes by. I care about legacy and winning. And another year is going to go by. It's been what, 5-6 years since the Pens won their last cup? It's just only going to get.
It's been 5-6 years since they won a freaking playoff series, let alone a cup.
It's frustrating. I can't.
I'd be happy with a playoff series win at this point. I'd be happy at this point. I don't even know if they're making the playoffs. This is bad. We are at the halfway point. I'm saving this. We are at the halfway point, and we're nearing crisis mode. What are they right now? They have the second wild card spot, and
we've been dancing in and out of that spot. It's not good, and I don't care what anyone on Twitter says. Our top 6 is old and slow, and we need youth and speed in one slot in each lineup, in each line. I don't care. Sure, I'm saying, put a defensive pairing, 2 kids together. Yeah, have some fun with that. It's early enough to have play there, and it's also early enough to play with the lineup. Sure, come playoff time, you can go back to your old top 6. I don't care. Do what you want to do, but now's the time to play. Now is the time to play. Now is the time to play. And you want to know something else? Top 6 makes the most mistakes. And you know what? It's not working. Look at our placement in the league. What place are we overall? Tell me that right now.
Overall? Oh God. I mean, God, they're barely in the, what are they? I mean, they're 5th in their own division, let alone the league. Oh, if they were in Atlantic, they'd be in 4th. It's not good. But when you say put a young, fast person on each of the top 2 lines, is there a top 6 young, fast person on this team?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know how old everyone is because I don't pay attention to that. I don't watch. I don't know names. I don't know numbers. Well, I do know that stuff, but I don't care about that stuff.
I don't think those players are on this team. That's
I watch feet and I watch hands. That's all I watch. Let me look here. Hold on. Heinen's a bit old.
Kapanen's a bit young.
What gamer? Okay, who's young?
Kapanen. Isn't he?
But we tried Kapanen.
Yeah, that didn't work. You're right. Yeah, Kapanen didn't work. He's 26.
Okay. Well, we've played Kapanen both with Sydney and with Gino.
Didn't work. Right.
Didn't work. But maybe it might work after sitting him because he's got some. How old is it? I should have done an age breakdown. I really should do that. What's our schedule like? When's our next podcast?
Our next podcast is it might be Tuesday, it might be Thursday. I'm not sure. Let's make it.
Play Ottawa twice back to back. Well, not back to back.
Ooh, yeah, at Ottawa and then home to Ottawa. Okay.
Where are we? Oh,
let's talk next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, So we play home to Winnipeg on Friday, and then at Carolina Saturday, and then home to Anaheim on Monday.
Okay. So am I going to continue doing turnovers and missed shots for the second half of the season, or should I move on to a different aspect?
If you want, that's up to you.
I guess I might as well finish the season doing this.
Okay.
But I want to focus on lineups. Okay.
All
I
right.
gotta break down the ages of each player, and then I'll play with lineups, I guess. I
Okay.
didn't want to do that. I really didn't want to do that on the, because after last time, remember last time?
We might need you to fix this team. That's
Again?
that's what this might come down to.
I know. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta.
I'll do my homework.
Okay. Oh, I am angry right now. I blame my sister. This is your fault, Angela. You inspired us to get angry and to get
After I was
fired
so
up.
like well behaved with Angie.
Yeah. Well, that was Angie Carducci. Yeah, we had to behave.
I
For
felt
her.
so bad when she's like, "Oh no, Carter has to go on the wing," and I'm like,
But no, it's not just her saying that. It's a lot of
it's
people
everyone,
saying that. And
except for me.
and it's not, yeah, but it was also Sullivan doing that. That wasn't just a few people saying that. That was actually what the coach did. Let's see how
Until
that
after that
works.
podcast.
All right. So we'll see. Well, hopefully things get better. Or it might be up to you to fix
area
everything.
and every facet. And well, I
Yeah,
just got news that I just found out that the All-Star game's on my birthday, and I was just like, worst birthday ever.
Man, the All-Star game sucks.
It's the
Isn't it that they
worst.
do that 3-on-3 crap?
Oh, I haven't watched it since the 90s. Literally. Like, it's no good. I'm actually, that's what might be a lie. I might have watched it in 2000.
They've changed it to 3-on-3. The entire
No, I
game
don't
is
watch it.
3-on-3.
I'm not interested. I don't want to see a player get hurt before the playoffs. I'm just not into it. And I know they don't even try, so it's not even an all-star game. It's just no, thank you.
It's just
Bring back the Canada Cup or do the World Cup again in the I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm not supporting it. I don't give them my ratings at all. The skills competition's kind of cool, but again, they're not all going all in because nobody wants to get hurt. You got the playoffs.
Skills competition is cool.
I'm like, when Sydney was named to it, I'm like, pull an Ovechkin. Get hurt. I should not.
Oh, he hates going to those all-star games, so maybe he will get hurt. And then yeah, but if you pull if you're named to the all-star game and you don't go, you actually get penalized. You're not allowed to play the next regular season game. He would actually lose a game by that.
He doesn't have no Iron Man streak. I don't think he'd care to lose one.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Take a break with Dumoulin or something and talk about.
There you go. All right. We need to breathe.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, I'll see you.
Bye, Joe.